Hello, everyone. Welcome to the session. Today, we will be talking about American Society of Cataract and Refractive Surgeons and how working with interactive strategies as their development partner, they revolutionize their digital ecosystem with personalization. Let's begin with some introductions. My name is Naveed Ahmad, and I'm Director of .NET Development at Interactive Strategies. I'm a Sitecore MVP, and I lead Sitecore practice at Interactive Strategies. And I have many years of experience working with Sitecore as a CMS system. Together with me, I have Rich from ASCRS.
Hi, I'm Rich Mraz, Chief Technology Officer at ASCRS, and I lead all technology programs at ASCRS. So here's our agenda for today. We're going to talk about why digital transformation now, some goals for the future, our data architecture, some challenges like that global pandemic, and planning for the future of ASCRS. What is critical to the survival of a medical society? ASCRS embarked on a digital transformation with Sitecore as the nucleus. So before we start, a little background. The American Society of Cataract and Refractive Surgery is an international educational society. ASCRS's mission is to empower anterior segment surgeons to improve the quality and life of their patients. Here's a screenshot of our website back from 2019. And you can see we really needed to redo it. The single sign-on solution we had was not very good. Our search was terrible. There was no consistency among all of the sites in our ecosystem. We had an outdated UX, and we were not pandemic friendly. So why did we do all this? Our digital properties were scattered across many different sites, and they all looked different, and they did not have a cohesive look to them all. Our SSO was disjointed, and not all of our sites were able to use it. And we weren't able to react and meet our future member needs and or pandemic needs as they came up. And we needed a better search. So how do we do this? We created a new website for ASCRS in Sitecore. We consolidated all of the smaller meeting sites into the main site. We also implemented our new brand palette into ASCRS. And we created a new unified experience across all of our properties. So now that when one person logs in, they're logged in everywhere, and they have a very consistent user experience. Plus, we got a better search, and we are now using user personalization.
As mentioned, looking at the ASCRS needs and their member requirements, and through our thoughtful strategic process, we came to conclusion that Sitecore CMS as a central component to the ASCRS digital ecosystem will solve their content and personalization challenges.
So what did our data architecture look like before we got started? So we used to have a Drupal 7 website as the center, and we had a custom written SSO using cookies and redirects. We also use Brightcove for our video management, and we also use Nimble AMS as our association management system. And we have a few other third-party sites that we also interact with. So what did it look like after we were done? So we replaced Drupal 7 with Sitecore. We also replaced our custom search with Coveo Cloud Search. And we also reintegrated the Brightcove platform and the Nimble AMS platform into Sitecore. And we still use the other third-party sites as well. For ASCRS, member data is key to our personalization strategy. Nimble AMS is an association-based management system that runs on top of Salesforce. So we also get all of the Salesforce technology with our solution. It is the single source of truth for all of our member data, including registration, membership history, orders, medical education trainings. All of that resides in Nimble AMS. And using OAuth 2 as our technology, we had a new SSO amongst all our sites now so that when we log in, we're logged into every site. Brightcove is our video platform, and our membership craves videos. It's the number one way that they learn new technologies and keep up to date with their medical trainings. We have well over 1,000 videos in our portal, and there's a lot to discern and keep track of. And they're personalized by specialty areas. So now when users log into the website, their metadata comes over, and now they'll see videos that tailor to their interest and based upon what they have done and who they are. And we also pull more metadata and thumbnail images now through the Brightcove integration.
With Sitecore as a central component, it provided ASCRS with great content editing experience and flexibility. Its openness to connect with nimble AMS system and Brightcove at the same time was a game changer for ASCRS. It integrated really well with Coveo search due to Coveo native Sitecore connector, and it provided the much needed search ability for the members, which you will see shortly in the demo. We also made extensive use of Sitecore rules engine for personalization. We had over 100 custom rules, which were tightly built with nimble AMS system. And finally, we hosted this solution on Azure Cloud, which provided the much reliability and scalability for the application. So before we just show you a demo of personalization, we just want to show you the overall process of how we achieved personalization.
The personalization process starts when somebody logs into the Sitecore website and they use the SSO with OAuth 2 between Salesforce and Sitecore. And during that data transformation, we also pass over membership history, short codes, and other data. Naveed?
Yes. So once the user is logged in, we take the member data and create a Sitecore user, a virtual user with Sitecore, and combine all the data into a user profile. And then we apply these rules, these personalization rules to that specific user or member, and we personalize the content. So based upon custom profile rules, we update the content, and you will see it in a demo shortly. So let's have a look at a very simple personalization demo that we have already built up for the presentation. As you will see in this demo, we are adding a component on the website, and we click on the edit on the component, and then we click on add a rule to the component. We're typing in the name of the rule, and then we're going to click on edit rule action. And we are going to select one of the predefined custom ASCRS rule, which is one of the short codes. And based on this short code, if a member is logged in, he or she, if they do have this role assigned to them, they will be able to see the specific content, otherwise they won't. So in other words, we personalize the content based on member role type, their short code, their meeting access, and so on. And this provided ASCRS with the flexibility or the power to essentially personalize the content for their members across all the pages. We launched the website on the day one with all the clinical pages and video pages with personalization. Moving on, we also had Coveo to give them the search ability for the website. As they are a medical or a scientific society, they have a tremendous need to have a world-class search engine. We looked at different search platforms, and we found Coveo to be the best among them, which could provide them with their needs with their needs like synonym management, context management, autocomplete, predictive search, and so on. So having the search ability to find the relevant content is one of the core requirements for ASCRS. So let's take a look at a demo of the search that we have done. So in this demo here, you'll see that search is pretty neatly integrated with the system. And you can click on a video link from the header menu, and you go to a search-driven page, and where search is listed, search results are listed. And if somebody starts typing in the word cataract and misspell it, it will autocorrect itself and presents itself with the results. And then we can go on and apply the facets and the filterings, which looks pretty similar to what a customer or a member is used to seeing on websites like Amazon. So this helps their member to find the content which is relevant to them in a really quick and a short time. And we had a huge success and a great feedback about it. To achieve all this, we divided the project into three distinct phases. During the phase one, we decided to launch the 6 annual meeting websites, microsites, so that we have something on the web as a presence on which we could market stuff on. This also allowed ASCRS team to become familiar with Sitecore as a platform, and we also set up the Azure cloud setup for them. In phase two, we launched the main website, which was very tightly integrated with Nimble AMS system, the Brightcove videos, Brightcove platform providing the thumbnail images and the metadata information, and Coveo search. The clinical education pages were all personalized based on Sitecore rules and so on. And in phase three, we were planning to take this personalization experience even further towards the homepage and towards the topic landing pages and moving towards the historical personalization based on user behavior. However, COVID happened.
So we began the RFP process back in August of 2018, and we actually began project work in November of 2018. And the first major deliverable was the annual meeting subsites, which is all the smaller 7 sites. And that was launched in October of 2019, followed shortly thereafter with the main ASCRS launch in February of 2020. But then, as everybody knows, COVID-19 hit, and it was quite the impact. We had never canceled our annual meeting in our almost 50-year history. And in the first time ever in March, we had to announce we canceled the annual meeting. And like most associations, this was a huge blow for us. But we had to pivot and do something. So then we worked with our partners and we announced a virtual annual meeting in the end of April. And we had the first ever annual virtual meeting in May of 2020. On the same weekend, we would have had our live in-person meeting. So from the time we canceled to the time we had the meeting was just over 8 weeks. And again, it was made possible through the help of Sitecore as well. So some of the key challenges we faced, we had 2 launches there back to back. And although they were separated by a few months, it was a very aggressive timeline and quick turnarounds with holidays, events, vacation time, working with key staff. It was a challenge to get them all done. We also had some unforeseen costs come up. The additional content support we needed was very good. There was so much content to go through and re-edit and revise and post on the site that we had to have help. We just couldn't do it with the staff we had. We also had some last-minute API integrations that we needed to do, as well as some podcast and abstract integration work. Content challenges for personalization, again, trying to figure that out and get all that working. But the biggest effect, obviously, was COVID-19. Again, as an association, we were hit very hard with the effects of COVID-19. We had to lay off a quarter of our staff. We had to all take pay cuts. We closed our office and became a virtual company because of COVID-19. We would have never done that if COVID hadn't happened. So it was a big effect. And of course, that affected all of our future plans too, which we've had to put on hold for now. So what is critical to the survival of ASCRS? For us, it's member engagement. If our members aren't engaged and they don't find value in the tools and the resources we provide, they won't become members, or they won't attend our meeting or stay a member. We have been lucky during this pandemic timeframe that most of our members have decided to retain and still stay with ASCRS. So again, it's critical that we have tools that can help us going forward. How do we establish digital success? We need a website that works harder. As I mentioned, we now have less staff and we have to do more with them. So we need our tools and technology to work harder for us. We need video content that can be found and consumed anywhere. Our doctors are very busy people and they take time to learn. It could be in the car, on the road, in the device, anywhere that they need the content, we need to be able to give it to them. And rapid response tools. We had a new feature on the Sitecore website that allowed us to have an alert banner drop down when the person visited the site. And we had to use it right away with the announcement of the annual meeting being canceled, and then with the new virtual annual meeting. So again, having tools that respond to us is what we needed. And planning for all scenarios. Our member needs will change over time, and we need to be able to react to whatever they are, including pandemics. And some quick key updates, for our Google Analytics stats, our session duration has increased by 42%, and our bounce rate has decreased by 7%. So we're very happy with the feedback that we've gotten so far. The search has been fantastic. Our members love the ability to dive deep into there and find specific content that they're looking for very easily and quickly. Our API integrations with our third-party partners have been very successful. And one personal note I want to share with the 20 Happy program. So because of the annual meeting being canceled and not everybody having access to continuing medical education as our doctors need, there was a big gap that we had to fulfill. So we launched this 20 Happy program, which is basically a bi-weekly session that is recorded for our doctors. But then we also put that content into the website behind the personalization checks that Naveed had talked about with both membership and registration gates. So that way they can go back and watch the content anytime. And this program has been very successful and has also helped us stay afloat. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for watching this session, and I'm glad that we have Rich and Naveed live here with us today. Hello, gentlemen.
Hello.
We already have a couple of questions in, but if you have any question, please use the question box on the right. So the first question from Jason: how Sitecore personalization has improved your overall digital experience? I guess this is for you, Rich.
Yes. So it has improved our personalization greatly. Before, we really couldn't allow our content to be driven by who they are or what they do. So for example, we have different types of surgeons and they do different activities. So now if they register for a small meeting or a large meeting, with different activities, they can do different things and then watch different videos on our website. So for example, we have a program going on right now called 20 Happy, and that has a distinct registration for those people. So when they log into the site, if they have that code, they can go in and watch those videos. And then again, as they watch more and the site grows more, it learns what they like, and then it'll suggest videos to them and other parts of the site based on what they saw.
Perfect. And it's a technical question from Rob. How did you integrate Brightcove? Did you use the available connector?
I can answer that. We looked into the Brightcove connector. It was very, fully functional and it was more than what we wanted. So we took a slim approach, and because we only needed to integrate meta properties of the video. So what we did is we integrated with the Brightcove API, and on the on-save event, when a content author from ASCRS team will add a video using a Brightcove video ID, we will pull the metadata information, like who's the producer of the video, what's the length of the video, what are the thumbnails for the images for the video. So all that kind of, the meta information was pulled directly from Brightcove. And when that video is played, obviously, it plays we had a Brightcove player displaying the video. So we looked into the Brightcove connector. It was more than our need, so we took a custom approach towards it.
Okay, we do have a couple of questions regarding the search. How is the search compared to your previous implementation? And how are the Coveo search facets built? Is it driven by AI or content tagging or both?
I'll take the first part and I'll pass it to Naveed for the second one. The search is great compared to our previous one. And we had a custom built search that, it didn't always index properly. We had some challenges getting the content in there. We do have quite a bit of content that we index, well over 1,000 nodes and videos. So the previous one didn't handle that at times, and it wasn't, based in the cloud, and it wasn't self-learning, and it didn't do all the good stuff that Coveo does for us now. So we have had great feedback from our members using it. So it's been, much better solution for us. Naveed?
So we implemented Coveo the standard way. So we have all our content is tagged properly. Every single video, every single piece of content that you see on the website is phenomenally tagged, or it's tagged to accuracy. And then we use the Coveo's AI and machine learning algorithms to better serve the audience. So we have the machine learning pipeline enabled. So if people are searching for certain terms and clicking on the videos, which are lower down in the search results, it automatically brings it up. So it brings up the relevancy for the video. So we use both the content tagging and AI learning from Coveo.
Okay, thank you. Next question from Mark. Did you do any A/B testing when implementing all of your changes?
No, we didn't. Our old website was really bad. It needed an update, so anything would have been better than what we had. But we just didn't have time in the overall schedule. I mean, we had a very aggressive schedule from start to finish. We had holidays in there, 2 major deployments. So there just wasn't time to go back and forth and do revisions over and over again to see what happened. But we did do at the beginning, though, some consumer research and focus group research, which we based some of our designs and feedback from that to get to the final product.
Okay, thank you. We do have some more questions, but if you are interested in anything else, please use the question box on the right and type your question. So the next one from Jason. What do you think was the single most difficult challenge during the project?
So from my perspective, the biggest challenge was time. Again, we had a deadline that really wasn't movable because we were tying this launch of this site in with another project at the same time. And, you know, those deadlines weren't really that flexible. So again, we had 2 big launches, only a couple months apart, but separated by holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas here in the US. And it was just a lot of scheduling and then important people and feedback. So, you know, getting all that put together, you know, kudos to the IS team for helping us get all that together and setting a strict deadline and timetables for who has to do what, when it's due, and then making sure that it got back into the schedule before affecting the future parts. So, Naveed?
And from my side, or from development side, it was mostly the integrations and the technical aspects, because we have to integrate with number of different technologies that ASCRS is currently working with, especially like Salesforce, Brightcove, and Coveo. So those are like major integrations that we have to implement in a way that it is seamless for the end user. So if you go to the website, you wouldn't feel that it is interconnected by all these different systems, but it provides a seamless and a much better experience. So for us, the biggest challenge was obviously, you know, we have to get all the integrations working, and obviously time. You know, time is always of an essence. So there's a tight deadline and a lot of work to do.
Okay. Next question from Peter. Do you have any feedback from your customers? What is the new site working for them, or how do they like the new website?
Again, the feedback we've been getting is tremendous. I mean, our members, you know, rely on clinical education. You know, they have to get so many hours of training in every year, and they learn by watching the videos. So again, the search with all the new upgrades we did and Coveo support, they can really find what they're looking for very quickly. Because if one of our members, you know, they're not going to spend 10 minutes looking for a video. They're very busy people. They can't find it in under 10, 12 seconds from an instant search. They're just going to move on and do something else. And then we could possibly lose them as a member, because there's many places to get education these days. You know, we're not the only source. So we want to make sure that we provide an engaging environment. And I think the new site hits out of the park for that part.
Perfect. The next question, how is the mobile experience of the website?
Naveed?
So I can answer that. I mean, at Interactive Strategies, we build all of our website with mobile in mind, which means that our UX and design team is always thinking ahead of the time, and mobile is, you know, always back of their mind. So for example, if they're building a hero image or a component or a promo component, they would always think ahead and would know how it will fit in within a mobile view or in a desktop view or in a tablet view, in all different orientation. So all our website is fully mobile optimized, or you can call it app, you know, so you can pick up your phone, you want to search it on your phone, or you want to, you know, browse the website, everything is fully functional. Because in this day and age, when your traffic is more than 50% is more, 50% of your traffic, if it's mobile, then you have to make sure that your website is fully functional and supported in mobile. And on top of that, Sitecore provides, has no restrictions of how we do the layout and presentation. So we are, you know, pretty much on top of the game in terms of mobile experience.
Perfect. We do not have any more questions at the moment, so I would like to congratulate to Rich to the new website, and thanks for Naveed and the team to implement the website. And of course, thank you for your presentation and being with us here and the live Q&A.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you, and this concludes the Q&A for this session.